Hey guys, welcome back to New York Comic Con here on Newsarama. I'm Justin Tyler.
I'm Grace Randolph.
We're here sitting with Mr. Joe Kelly. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, New York Comic Con.
Yes.
You're kind of the big Marvel animation man about town.
The man of action.
The man of action about town.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm representing the home team at the con. The rest of the guys are working hard in LA, so I'm out here doing the circuit.
Now, did you get the short straw or the long straw?
Yeah.
Luckily, I live here, so it was actually.
How does that work then? If they're all out in LA and you're here?
Yeah, I used to just be the guy on the speakerphone. I mean, it was literally that was it, and now I go out quite a bit.
Now you can afford it in the budget. After
Yeah, clearly. Our personal man of action jet comes and picks me up. No, it's just when we go out, like when we break stories for Marvel, we're all in the same room, so that's when I go out quite a bit.
Oh, excellent.
But otherwise, yeah, internet, Skype, all that good stuff.
Let's talk about it. You guys have so many shows in production. Let's tell us where we are in each of them.
Well, let's see. We're season 2 of Spidey is just about to wrap up, I think. We just had the Halloween episode that was on regular Disney. It's going to be on Disney XD again on Sunday. It's a big 2-parter, had a lot of guest stars in it. It's actually a really fun episode. We got to use Werewolf by Night and Frankenstein's Monster and really play with it. Blade in a PG Disney show, which is pretty cool.
He barely pulls the sword out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just his stick of sharpness.
He's like, I'm going to point this at you if you...
And they fight Dracula, you know. So it was really fun to do all that stuff. And Man-Thing's in it, which is really... That was actually kind of like a total home run.
Does anyone burst into flames? Does anyone know fear?
We so wanted to do that. Flames are a bit of a no-no
children's
on kids' TV, but we so wanted people to know fear and burst into flames.
Sounds like a very interesting Halloween special. No knives, no flames.
And no fear.
Yeah.
Nothing scary.
Yeah.
No, it was. It came out great. It was a lot of fun.
Well, speaking of all this, that fine line. I mean, obviously, you're making shows for Disney XD, trying to reach a new demographic.
Right.
But of course, you have to please the original core demographic.
Right.
How is that dealing with the fans saying like, "This is too for kids. I want an adult show"?
We've been really lucky. I mean, when we sat down with Joe Quesada for Spider-Man, him and Jeff Loeb, they were like, "Look, we're starting from scratch. Pretend you've never heard of Spider-Man before, and you're presenting it to a kid." That was how they wanted to start. And it's a little easier with Spidey, obviously, because he's a teenager and the whole cast is younger. The Avengers was a little bit more of a challenge because, of course, the film comes out. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, all of a sudden everybody starts looking at. They really dig that show.
That show
ends. Well, it was a little bit, yeah. And then what happens was,
too, Joe?
Yes, exactly. And then and the adult fans are like, "Oh, well, we loved all that, and what are you guys going to do?" And just like Spidey, we had a lot of fans hate the show before it came on.
Right.
And then here we are now 2 seasons into it, and a lot of people come by the booth and say, "I can watch it with my kid." There's stuff that I think is funny and that he thinks is funny, goes right over his head. And we try really hard to administer to continuity when we can, but always try to keep it fresh. So like in Spidey, we have so much latitude in the Ultimate Universe. Really, it's because it's following the spirit of what Bendis did. So we can reintroduce classic villains in a new way, put new, like we just did, Kraven is attached to White Tiger, and Scorpion really comes from Iron Fist past, stuff like that, which
So
is
you don't
a
have
lot
to
of fun.
approve that, or you're just like, woohoo?
Yeah, they do, but we're in the room with Joe Quesada, so
all the time when you're doing.
Oh yeah,
he won't leave. That's the thing.
Yeah,
exactly. He refuses to leave.
He comes on the jet. He's like on the outside,
he
like
does.
the goblin.
Hides in the wheel well.
I swear, Joe Quesada's on the wing. Joe Quesada's on the wing.
But that's the great thing, is that we get the yes or no right there. The other yes and no's come from like a Deadpool issue where it's like, can you say kill? Can you have stabby knives?
Can you say kill?
Spidey did when Deadpool refused to say kill, which was kind of a joke for Disney. But it was so it's been really cool. And then I think with Avengers the tone is obviously different. I think adult fans are a little bit more looking for a hardcore action show, and it's got a lot of comedy in it for sure. But we just watched an episode at a Marvel panel, and there was a lot of people laughing. I think a lot of people enjoying it. So I think we're winning people over.
Oh, good.
That seems to be the feel, at least so far. So
that's great. And Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Big Hero 6. A little engine that could. It's the Disney's first animated cartoon based on a Marvel property.
Yeah.
That's like your wheelhouse.
Totally, yeah, and cooked up by specifically Stephen Duncan in Alpha Flight, Steve Siegel and Duncan Rouleau.
Yeah.
To have the full names, and It's fantastic. I mean, we're so excited. You know, it's really cool. And you know, we always tell new writers and artists, you know, the work always pays off. The work always pays off. You never know how far down the road something's going to come back. You know, and so like Generator X was based on a 2-issue comic we did called MREX, and 10 years earlier. You know, like the work always comes back.
What do you think of Disney moving it to like this new like you know, San Francisco Tokyo hybrid? You know.
Oh, I think it could be really neat. I mean, the inspiration of the characters was to, you know, all the stuff that the guys loved from anime and manga, taking that and sort of injecting it into the Marvel universe and having fun with it, really taking those stereotypes and amping them up to 1,000. And so to create a new city that represents that same thing, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's just a fun way, and it's a world that you can make all your own.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you ever think maybe of going into like adult animation? You know, I mean, because the fan base is there.
Adult?
Yeah, you mean like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Turn the camera off.
Well, you know, I mean, people are saying, you know, animation's always, you know, directed at a younger fan base, but, you know, in Japan, that's not the case.
Right.
So do you ever think that, because in America, we might be able to have adults go and see an animated movie?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, we did Superman versus the Elite, which, you know, did pretty well and sort of straddled the line as a PG-13 kind of thing. But yeah, I would love to see more adult animation, no question. I do believe the audience is out there. It's a question of the people with the money figuring out how they're going to make the money.
Just one person has to make a lot of money, and everyone else will go.
No, literally, but also this idea that now we live in the future, right? So it's whatever you want is at your fingertips. You can get it now, whether it's Netflix, Xbox, whatever you want. So I think that's how we're going to start to see much cooler projects pop up that maybe would not be in the normal mainstream media. So I'm hoping, and yes, you know, the answer is we have a ton of projects that I would love to do, like Japanese style, really hardcore, you know, anime. I mean, that's something. Not like that kind of hardcore.
So you want to do a hardcore adult cartoon. Got it. So let's talk about some comics.
Yes, exactly. We make cartoons for kids.
Let's talk comics. You said you have a Deadpool omnibus coming about.
Yes, Marvel has been super kind, and I mean, I'm very humbled, honestly, and honored by it. They're putting out this big omnibus of all my stuff that I did on Deadpool. So it comes out in January, and it's the whole run, all the annuals, the Deadpool baby book, his appearance in Spider-Man, little short stories.
Did you write anything new for it, like an intro or something?
No, I wonder if they're going to ask, but no. Apparently, it's at the printer, so I don't know. I don't know. So it's. I was saying they should leave some pages blank in the back just in case, and I'll come to your house and write it in. But it's totally cool. I think they just said it's got like 1,000-something pages. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Wow.
It was 3 years on the book, and I mean, it's a lot of work. So that's cool.
A lot of people, I mean, Deadpool's so popular now, talk about your run.
Yeah,
like,
I loved your run.
On the show that I do and stuff, everyone's like Deadpool, and your name comes up every time.
No,
how does that feel with the character be like blowing up now?
It's really cool. I mean, he's obviously a cornerstone of my career. 3 years on that book was a lot, and it would have been longer, really. I mean, all the tumultuous stuff we had about was it canceled or not. But I've always loved the character, and so it's a total warm spot in my heart. I love it. I love seeing so many Deadpools walking around the con. It's really cool. And then when we got to put him on Ultimate Spidey, like I had total heavy hand on that episode. So it's just fun. He's a character I totally love, and I'm glad that he's getting his due. And maybe someday there'll be a live action film, and that'd be very neat. And especially if it was really dark and disturbing.
You know it.
Last thing you have another comic that's starting up again, or something else?
Yeah, well, I've been late on some of my creator-owned comics. So Bad Dog is coming back. Bad Dog is finally coming back. November is issue 5. Issue 6 comes out in January. Then we'll do a collection, but I'm back on track with that.
Awesome.
Four Eyes, Max Fiumara is just super talented and super popular, and he's doing the Abe Sapien books over at what do you call it, Dark Horse. And so he's not available for a little while, but he's committed. So we're going to do more of that. And then I've got some new stuff coming out from Image next year.
Awesome.
So there will be more to tell very soon.
Well, we'll be seeing a lot from you then.
It's nice to come back. You know, it's like did a lot of animation work. That was really fun. Now back to some comics. So back and forth all the time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sitting down with us.
Sure, thank you.
And you guys stay tuned for plenty more from Comics.